to turn this SWAT unit into a truly elite CT team. Their next exercise, which Snow would lead, would utilize the killing house and hone close-quarter battle (CQB) techniques. The regiment's killing house in the UK was a 2-story building. It was designed and furnished to look like an average 2-up, 2-down, but had a special rubber-coated walls to absorb bullets, extractor fans to clear out cordite, and video cameras in corners to record and play back the action in the rooms. Each room had at least one metal target and live rounds were used. The SAS team had built a less elaborate mini-version at the camp to train the Polish operatives in how to enter a room, assess the situation, and neutralize any threats. Inspector Zatwanicki, head of the Polish CT unit, had said a permanent killing house would be built to UK standards. It hadn't happened yet. Snow sipped his tea. It wasn't a bad gig. The Poles were quick learners, as most of them, unlike their British police counterparts, had already served time in the Polish army before joining up. This gave them an understanding, if somewhat rudimentary, of military procedure and firearms handling. Several of the men spoke passable English, which was good, as none of the SAS teams spoke Polish. In cases of misunderstanding, Snow resorted to his Russian, which most of the Poles spoke as their first foreign language.
"My men impress you, Snow."
"They are very promising, Inspector."
"Good."
Zatwanicki sat.
"History is a funny thing. Few years ago, you being here would have been unthinkable. The West was the enemy. Our hope, our future, our security lay with our Soviet protectors. And then, like dominoes, it all fell. To be candid, we never really wanted to be on the Soviet side. That is why we need you here, Snow. We are tired of the old methods and, of course, want to learn from the best."
Snow smiled politely. He had been present when Zatwanicki made the same speech on his visit to Hereford, courtesy of HM government. The Pole meant every word and fancied himself as a bit of a public speaker.
"Our biggest fear now is our old protector, Mother Russia. She is wounded, and a wounded bear is the most dangerous kind. We really do appreciate your team, Snow."
The older man reached out to shake the SAS trooper by the hand.
"Thank you, Inspector, but we're just doing our jobs. It's your men that need to be thanked for working so hard. Modesty is something I hope you also teach."
Zatwanicki raised his mug in mock salute. A shout came from the communications room. Both men stood. Moments before, the radio had fallen from the operator's hand. The call was from Central Dispatch. Armed men had entered Shriner Bank on Wrocławska Street. They were the nearest specialized unit. Could they assist? Zatwanicki looked Snow in the eye.
"Are my men ready?"
"Yes." Minutes later, on Zatwanicki's orders, the Poles and their SAS training team were in a convoy being led by a very nervous recruit. After 8 weeks on the job, this recruit's first real action was as the lead driver on what the SAS referred to as an immediate. The young officer concentrated on threading his way through the traffic in his new police Omega. Never mind that his siren was blazing, the drivers of Poznan were none too happy to yield. In the passenger seat sat Zatwanicki, with Snow, who trusted only his own driving, sitting behind. Wrocławska Street, Poznan. Bull checked his watch. The local militia would be there in 5 more minutes. A dull thud came from the back room. His men had blown open the safe. Another sound registered in the distance. Sirens. They were early. The men from the safe detail lumbered into view, weighted down, their Bergen packs now full. Giving the signal, he and his 2IC, Oleg, tossed smoke grenades into the center of the room and out onto the street. It was now time to leave. He felt for the remote detonator, then the 2 men took up sentry positions on either side of the road to cover the bagmen as they sprinted across, partly concealed by the billowing white smoke.